Hello, hello, everybody. Wait for some people to hop on. If anybody's gonna hop on, if anybody's gonna join in. Let me see if I get anybody to come join me today. Will I pick up my mess of an area for just a quick second? Hold on. Real quick. Hey, Anita. Hi, Heather. Love of my life. Okay. Sort of cleaned up a little bit. Hold on. Hello, hello. Okay, so I have a dilemma because I am like the most indecisive person on earth. I don't know what to paint tonight, so I'm gonna let you guys choose. Do you guys want to do another neon painting, or do you guys want to do a mostly blues, greens? So the neon painting will be a beach painting, or if you want to do a regular painting, then we can do a mossy tree waterfall type painting. It's just gonna have a ton of blues and greens. So you guys help me decide, please. She gets a Anita, second, third, fourth love of my life. I love you all. Hold up. I'll put some rocks away. Okay. So everybody we're gonna put it up to vote. I'm gonna just write it here for anybody that's coming in. Do we want to do a neon or neon ocean or mossy waterfall? So let me just finish putting my paints up and then I'll come back and check. I'm gonna kind of just wing it tonight. I'm not gonna give no inspiration photo because the last time that I gave an inspiration photo, I got yelled at because I didn't include all of the stuff. So we're gonna just make it our own. Now remember, I have done both a beach and a waterfall tutorial. I have them both up on my YouTube. So keep that in mind in case you're like, oh, I really want to learn how to do a waterfall. I have a tutorial for that. Or if you're like, oh, I really want to do like a seascape, I have a tutorial for that too. So you don't miss out on either or. So you guys let me know in the comments. Okay, my desk is like mostly picked up, so let's scroll back a little bit. Hello, Connie. Hey, Susan. PJ says neon. Anita says waterfall. Heather said waterfall. Connie said beach scene. Neon. That's 3 votes. I think it's like 3 votes neon, 2 votes waterfall. Oh my god, I swear I was going to take a picture of Bruno and I did come on a little bit earlier because I want to do a palette prep. I just wasn't sure what we were painting, so I haven't prepped my palette so we can all prep it together. I swear I was going to take a picture of Bruno and Luna because they were just napping right now. Legit, I swear they were just napping. I kid you not, like maybe 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, and now they are chasing each other around. Let me set my laptop up. Oof, everybody's voting for the waterfall. Okay. Let me see. Let me go to waterfall inspo. Waterfall inspo going right now. And it's gonna be like a distant waterfall. Don't even think that it's like close up or anything. I know. They're like super rough housing. I should have like reworded that. Like we're gonna do a waterfall, but it's gonna be like trees mostly, and then like a river leading into a very tiny waterfall in the back. That's what I'm thinking. A neon waterfall. Connie, be still my heart. Oh, I have to look up an inspo photo for that. It might be too last minute. Katie, I think this is about, let me see. Where's that measuring tape that I had? Turn on the lights in here. Oh my God, it's so dark. Okay. God, my desk looks so clean now that I took those little couple seconds just to do that. This is about 5.5 by 4.5. But of course, you know, do it on whatever you feel comfortable or whatever you feel is best. I guess everybody voted for waterfall, so let's go with that. Waterfall, mossy, ocean vibes. Honestly, I could just flip this rock around and not have to erase, but here we are. Okay, I might do it this way. Yes, that looks about right. Okay, let's do a palette prep. All right, so let me pull up comments over here so I can see them. I hopped on a couple of minutes early because I know that everybody's gonna be like, I can't find you, or where were you? Like, were you on YouTube? Were you on Facebook? So I'm hoping that people see this and hop on, because I mean, I'm a little bit earlier than what Wanda and Katie do at 7:30. So we shall see. Oh, look, I can hear myself. Okay, let me turn that mute off. Mute myself. Hello, Tony. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. I'll do like a half screen if I can. There's Bruno. I swear, man, he drives me nuts. I just don't know why he's so loud. Like he's just loud, buddy. You're so loud, Bruno, my main man, Bruno. No, go outside to bark. Go outside to bark. Go. Don't just look at me, go. All right. Let me make sure that I'm actually in camera. Okay, palette prep. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do the darn thing. Grab all the greens, all of your blues. Look, I just put my paints away and here I go, making a mess again. Yellow. I'm gonna lay my colors down so y'all can see them as I'm laying them down, of the colors that I'm probably gonna be using. Hooker's Green Permanent, Cadmium Yellow Deep Hue. You can use bright yellow. I'm definitely gonna be using the neon yellow and green. Might be using some aqua. For sure, some blues. Grab your blues. Obviously, grab some black. And grab some white. Oh my God, why are y'all this way? Get outside. Blue, maybe some baby blue. What else do I see here? White, yellow, blues, the greens. From what I can see, I think that's it. I might throw in a little bit of this. But for the most part, this is the palette that we're gonna be working with. Pretty simple. All right, I'm just gonna start prepping. Oh my God, Sherry, 105. Look. 105 degrees. That is insane. I say that's insane as if I wasn't raised in that same weather, but honestly, like, I left El Paso and I never looked back because I cannot stand that heat anymore. This gal cannot handle anything over like 95 anymore. I'm just, ugh. I hate the heat. Hawaii forever ruined me. Let's use some neon green. I really want like a lighter green too. I swear I have a wand green that's like perfect, but I can't find it. I'm determined. We got gator. Mistletoe. Nope, it wasn't in this one. Ooh, Spanish moss. That's a good one. This is what I get for choosing an image like super last minute. Can't find my green. My light green that I like. I'm annoyed at myself. Why am I this way? Okay, whatever. I guess I'm gonna try to grab this one. It's light green permanent. Permanente. Oh my God, this one too. Why are my paints this way? This one's clogged. See, I'm glad that Wanda started including those little uncloggers in her packages because all my paints clog. All of them. Yeah, I already used that. And some navy blue. And some regular blue. And then some bright yellow. Oops. And some neon yellow. Oh my God, I'm almost out. Okay. All right, is everybody ready? Are y'all ready to like get the show going? Hit the road running? If anybody's gonna paint along, say hello. I got 19 people watching. Not so bad, not so bad. Hello. Okay. my God, I've only had this desk out for like maybe like a week and a half. I need to wipe it down. It's so nasty. Okay. Let's see how Diana's going to approach this. Okay. Let's start with our usual when we're doing the landscapes. Maybe about halfway, go ahead and draw your line across. Maybe a little bit more than halfway. Like, so this is your sky. And then right about here, maybe give yourself that much space. This is just a guide for the blending. And this is where your waterfall is gonna be, right here, right here. Okay. Make sure that your line is straight. And remember, this is just a guide. Landscape paintings are kind of just go in there and throw it in there and you'll be good to go. And then from here, we're gonna bring out a little riverbank. And then it's gonna be like a big McDonald's M, going like that, like a little slithery snake. So we did this part first, and then we're gonna go in right about where the waterfall is gonna end. Let's put a little rock of moss here, and then this little corner is perfect because it's like, this is one of Heather's blemish stones, so it has like that perfect texture already. And then we'll go about here, make it a little bit skinny, and then we're just gonna widen it up like that. You all see the vision starting to come to life. And that's it. That's all we're gonna sketch, okay? So we did the halfway point, halfway mark. From here, give yourself a little bit of room, maybe about halfway from the top to the bottom. Draw yourself a little circle, a little guide. It does not have to be perfect, doesn't have to be measured, because this is just gonna be your guide for where your blend transition is going to go down. And then we got a little waterfall going on here. We got a little river that we drew, a little moss rock. And that's it for the sketch, believe it or not. Do y'all, let me ask, because I know that a lot of y'all aren't painting along, and you're kind of just hanging back watching. Do y'all want me to go at my own speed and explain it, or do you want me to do like a pause and wait type of thing? Hey Joan. Tina, she says she's gonna try. Anita's doing great. Susan says, go at your own pace. Okay, okay, okay. Go at my speed. Oof, you guys are gonna, all right, we're gonna, it's full turbo mode ahead then. Let's go, let's do it. You guys ready? Let's go. Okay. Okay, I say that like I'm gonna blast off, but I'm really not. All right, obviously grab your threads. I'm painting, can't paint as fast as you. Oh, Katie, I know you are gonna nail it. Thanks, Susan. I got like white on them or something. I'm trying to be festive. All right, so grab your thread brushes, all of the excuse me, I don't know what's been up with my throat today, man. I'm like coughing out the lung. I did a live earlier too, and I kept coughing during that live. Oh, Lordy Lord. Oh, this one's not as fluffy. Grab your fret brushes. All of the stuff that you like to use to pat and blend down. You want to have a couple of them on hand for the blending. Oh, this is too nice still. We will save you for another day. Okay, I'm gonna grab a round brush. This is I don't know if this is a 6 or a 9, but this is a round brush, and I'm just using it to apply. It doesn't need to be anything like a specific number or anything like that. I'm gonna grab some of my white, and I'm gonna start applying to the corner over here. I'm just laying my color down. And make sure that it's nice and wetted down. And then I'm going to, with the same color in my brush, I am going to tap in just a tiny little bit of this like highlighter yellow, and that's just to give it like a little glow. And because we're also going to transition into, so it didn't make too much of a difference, but it really does. It doesn't look like it at first, but it definitely stands out from the white. And then from there, I'm gonna grab a mix of baby blue with some of the aqua green. And remember, you can always just use whatever colors you have at home. And I'm just gonna start to tap it in, laying my color down, right? I'm gonna grab some white to soften that blend, and I'm just gonna lightly tap it in with my brush that is wet with color, putting that away for a second. And then I'm gonna go in with a Fred blending brush that I trust, that I know works for me in big blending like this. That makes sense. And I'm just gonna be going back and forth, trying to bring those colors together. You can wipe off, oh my God, I picked up color. You can wipe off the excess, come back in, and then continue that blend until you get a nice little glowy aura, as if the sun is shining down on your trees, on your water. Nice little gradient blend. Keep adding your colors back and forth until you're happy with it. I keep picking up whatever dark color is under here. So it's time to flip the page. Once I hit this little area, I know that this area is gonna be filled with trees. What is that? Is gonna be filled with trees and stuff. So I'm not gonna worry about blending down any further here, but over here, I do wanna sort of, maybe not darken it up, but just a little tiny bit. So let's grab that baby blue, some aqua, and then just a tiny little touch of this blue, the regular blue, because this one is very, very pigmented and it will overpower your painting. And let's just blend. Hey Katie, if you ended up with a buildup of paint at your painting line, so like let's say that this was my rock, right? And I ended up like that. If it's dry already, then what you're gonna have to do is add in that first color that you mixed. So go in with something lighter lay your color, lay your color down. And then you're gonna have to work a little bit fast. Make sure that you add a little bit of water to that paint until you can blend it in between colors. So you gotta, if your paint is already dried and you got stuck with like a really thick line, go over the line with the two colors that you're trying to blend together. Just apply them, just slap them on, and then use a dry brush to kind of weave them in and out. Until you get the line removal that you wish to see. So here's my glow. I'm tapping directly from the top. Remember, if your brush is picking up the paint and you're getting left with like little white spots underneath, that means that your paint has way too much water. You want to dial that back a little bit. Wait for it to dry just a little bit and then go back in right when it's like at the cusp of being dry. Like I have a light over my stuff, so I can, if I tilt it, I can see the wetness like level that my paint is at. So like this is a little bit too wet, but this little portion right here is a lot drier. So that's like the perfect time that you want to get in there to blend. And you want to make sure also that your brush is like as dry as you can have it. If you don't have a lot of red brushes, then try to rub off and, you know, get as much of that water off as you can before you continue. So back here, I'm actually gonna grab my pencil real quick, don't freak out. But I'm just gonna draw myself a guide starting from here, kind of like a little mountain. Because that's where I know my trees are gonna stop. And the rest of it is just gonna be in the background type of trees. Now this is a fret brush that has a lot of like texture for me. It has a ton of like misshapen bristles. They're kind of going everywhere. And this is a brush that used to be a really thick filbert brush, and it ended up being poofy like this. And it's because I use it a lot like this. So the brushes become kind of, you know, perfect for blending and stuff. And this is the type of brush that I'm looking for to get the trees that I'm about to do. So I'm gonna grab some of the darkest blue that you got. Remember, it doesn't have to be exact colors like mine. And then I'm also going to add just a little tiny smidge of blue and a tiny smidge of aqua to create sort of like a gray turquoise color. You see that? So let's go in and let's start. I'm gonna start maybe right about here, because I do want to create like a little cove where my waterfall is gonna be. And don't try not to like just slap the color on. You want it to be just a little bit. You don't want it to be too black is what I'm saying. Like you don't want it to be too dark, too heavy, that it looks like a shadow. That's why we added some blue to it, and that's why we're adding some aqua to it, so that it still keeps those blue hues, those blue tones that you want to see in the painting. It's like a grayish color. Oopsie, I mixed that too dark, so I'm gonna add a little bit more aqua, lighten it up, try to match my color. And also make sure that you're not like me and that you're rinsing, that you're mixing enough color so that you don't have to stop and go back. I think that's why a lot of people have a lot of trouble with blending and stuff, because they don't mix enough color the first time, or it dries out too quickly on them. And I am doing a little bit of texture up here, sort of to leave it like you got some faraway trees up in the back. Hey Wanda, I hope you guys were able to get somewhere cool. I can't even imagine, friend. Anita, we mixed blue, just a tiny hint of black, and some of the aqua green. Aqua green, any type of aqua green that you have. If you don't have aqua green, you can also mix like the lightest blue that you have with the lightest green that you have. Maybe a little bit more blue than green. And then, hold on, let me add more white. Add a little bit of white. Sorry, I have my paintbrush in my mouth. To create a really pretty, needs a little bit more blue, really pretty like aqua color. So light blue, the lightest green that you got, and some white, okay? Whew. I'm trying to make this so that it's like a split screen. There we go. Okay, that's a lot better. Now I can see myself and fix myself if I'm off screen or anything like that. How wet is the sponge under the wax paper? It's pretty wet. It's like saturated. And I just got it, I don't know if you can see, it's literally like, it's very saturated. I just put a new paper down, and this is just wax paper. And this color will probably last me like about a week. All right, so from here, I'm going to start to fill in the rest of my painting with some black. I'm just gonna bridge off right here. A little triangle, kind of curve it up at the top. I gotta remember that I came on a lot later than I usually do. So, like you guys told me at the beginning, I am gonna be going a little bit at my own pace so that I don't like leave y'all hanging with like an unfinished tutorial in case I get too tired. My husband luckily got home early today, and he has tomorrow off, thank the Lord. So I don't have to be like too much of a rush to get off, but I have also been painting all day, so I'm like, you know. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of black with just a little bit of green, and that's just to darken the green up. Obviously, if you guys have the colors that I'm mixing into, use what you got. You don't have to always be mixing colors. I'm just used to it because I like to suffer. I don't know. Because the fluid ones just, you know, they come in less color options. So I had to learn to mix my own colors, you know? And we're gonna fill in this bottom portion here. Bruno. The dog that never sleeps. Honestly, he only gets crazy like that when the neighbors' dogs go outside, because the neighbors' dogs are like rowdy. They like to like look across the fence and they will, you know, shoot a little glare at Bruno, and then that's it. He's riled up. He's gotta defend his name over there. You can hear the other little dog. He's like this tiny little, I don't know, he looks like a mix of something. But he gets there and he'd like puss up his little chest. Just like barks. And then we have chain link fences here on base housing, so they can see each other clear as day. We tried to put one of those like privacy nettings up, and it just was a big fail because it's so windy here in Oklahoma that it started to make our fence like wobble because the fabric was being pulled with the wind. So we took it down. And it's also, we found out that that was the cause of Luna being able to jump the fence because she was a jumper. And so we had to like tie her to like a little stake in the ground every time we took her out, because if not, she would literally jump and run away. And she has not ever since we took that cloth off, and it's because she was using her like claws to grip onto it and hop over the fence. That crazy dog. And now we got a dog door, so now they can go outside and bark anytime that they want to, but that also means that they bring their little fights in here, and they kind of, it's like a little scrap yard out here. Hey, Rebecca. Anita said, gonna keep me company and watch the replay. Okay, friend. I know you're good for it. Connie, I don't use folk art paint. I use a mixture of Liquitex, and then I also use a mixture of Wanda's. Like legit, I use a lot of Wanda's. I'm almost out of the white. It's pretty empty. But I don't use folk art. The only one that I have, it's the apple barrel, and that's because I can't find the skin tone anywhere else. And then from here, I'm going to grab the same round brush that I had. I'm gonna grab some black, and I'm going to outline the bottom of this as it's coming through. And I'm gonna try to work a little bit quickly because I do want to blend this into a blue. So I'm gonna do one side first, and then I'll meet in the middle. I'm gonna just wipe off the black. I'm going in with the blue. And I'm gonna try to grab that black while it's wet so that I can kind of drag it down. Honestly, like, I wish that I had the patience to do more like filmed tutorials, you know, where you have to like set it up and record it. Honestly, y'all, I say that the mouse tutorial was like 5 hours long, but it was, for me it was 7, because I took 2 hours to film and then put together and edit that little last piece. So it was a little bit longer than I would have liked, but in the end, like, it's worth it to see all of the paintings that you guys post afterwards. And then let's go around, and we're just gonna put the blue down. I mean the black, sorry. We're putting the black, and then we're gonna put the blue. And we could just finish covering that up. I'm just dragging that black down with me as I go. Yes, Susan, make sure that if you're gonna try out the Liquitex, make sure that you are trying out the fluid, because they do have heavy bodied paint as well, and that is a lot thicker and not as fun to work with. I will say though, Wanda's paints are pretty up there with the pigment, man. Like, this is Wanda's blue, and I mean that pigment goes on and on and on, and it's the same consistency as the Liquitex as well. All right, so now that I'm here, I'm actually going to grab a a turquoise color, the neon turquoise, because it's just beautiful. If you do not have neon turquoise, that's perfectly okay. What you can do is mix, you can mix some blue. What are y'all doing? Oh my God. You know how I told y'all last time that my dog likes to chase inanimate objects? She is currently doing so. Jesus, Luna. You can try to add in blue and green and some white. It won't be the exact same color, maybe a little bit of aqua that we just mixed, but I mean, it'll be a nice replacement for those of you that don't have it. I'm gonna grab some of the turquoise and then just a tiny smidge of black, and I'm just gonna mix it. And yes, this is gouache and acrylic. No harm will come to you if you mix them both. It's actually quite fun to do so. And I'm just gonna lay that color down here in the middle. And remember that you are doing your job correctly if you can tell the difference between the colors that you're laying down. It should not be just one big black blob. There should be like a nice transition in between the colors. I'm telling you, Luna is something else. I was like begging her all afternoon to like snuggle with me, and I kept calling her onto my lap, and I was like, Luna, come and snuggle. And she would like go and like lay down and get petted, and then she'd like up and leave. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna wait for you to love me. So I ended up giving up, and then like we were watching the new episode of, because we haven't had a chance to, we were finally watching the new episode of House of the Dragon, and then it was like over, and I was getting ready to get up and, you know, walk around and move around, and this dog decides last minute that she wants to finally snuggle me. So I was like, you had your chance. You had your chance. So all I'm doing is I'm grabbing the blue and I am moving it back and forth to sort of blend in nicely to that. I'm not worried about creating any type of lines or water lines. And then from here, I'm going to also create like a little, that same, I don't know why I left this out, the green and black mixture over here. Luna. I don't know what these dogs are doing. Let me go check on them real quick. They're searching for something over here. What are you guys looking for? What are you looking for? Did you get a spider? What is it? What is it? Stop messing with the blinds. Jesus. They got something live over there because they're chasing it down. Okay. Y'all are so quiet tonight. Except Anita. Let's start with the trees. I'm going to start adding in some trees. Grabbing the gray brush that I was just using. It's a round brush. It doesn't have a number, but oh, it does. It's a number 4. For those of you that need the numbers read to you. And then I'm gonna start to map out where I want my trees to go, okay? I'm going to create a branch coming down from here. Just wing it, just believe in yourself. Go in. And I'm gonna create a big tree trunk coming down here. We're just gonna curve it out. Nothing crazy. These dogs are going after something over there. Looks like a little cactus. And then from here, let's bring in another one. Remember, the further away from you that they get, the smaller the tree is going to be. So let's map out where our last one's going to be, and that's going to kind of give you a guide to how many more you can squeeze in here. I am going to probably fit 3. So let's just do a little Y shape. And I do want this tree to be sort of a little bit chunky. This branch is going to go over the waterfall. Like that. You can have more branches coming in. Let's do another one sort of connecting here. A big tree over here. I'm gonna need some more black. Bruno! You guys sound like horses over there. Like that. And then this side is not gonna have too many big trees. It's just gonna have maybe like one really big one that's right here, because this bank is gonna be a little bit closer to you than this is. So let's start maybe right in the center here and drag it up. And we're gonna stop maybe like right here. And then I'm gonna sort of try to meet myself where my curve is, where I started to work on that blending. And I'm just gonna do a crazy little branch. I want it to be a little Jungle Book-ish. And then I'm gonna add some more branches. And I'm just using the brush itself to kind of, you know, however hard I press on it is how big my branches are going to be. So the more I press on it, the thicker they will turn out. And this is all from the same tree, okay? So if your rock extends out this way, just, you know, you keep adding those branches in. This one was not a perfect square. It's more rectangular shaped, but you can definitely eyeball your rock and see which direction you want to go with that. So we're just laying down our base painting. And then from here, I'm going to start grabbing a smaller brush that I know that I can use as a textured Fred brush. This one would be good. It is a brush that used to be a round brush, but it is not anymore. It's more scruffy. The bristles are kind of everywhere. This is a good one. This is another good one. Also a brush that used to be decent looking, and it's had a rough journey. It's had a rough life. Sorry to all of my brushes that end up that way, which is like 85% of them. This is another good one. It's a little bit stiff from paint, but it's nice and like thick up here at the top. It's like, it's got some space to do some tree stuff. But you don't want it to be large is what I'm saying, because I have scruffy brushes that are like this. This is not what we're looking for. We're looking for the more finer, you know, where you can control it a little bit more. Or you can use the Fred brush that we made at the last tutorial, which is, he's still going strong. He's still hanging in there. I might actually pull him out. And from here, I'm going to start to create light on my trees and on the ground and just all around in general. Let's start by building our hills. Same technique that we did for the weeping willow. Hold on, let me angle my rock because the glare. What happened? I scraped paint off my rock. Okay, so I'm gonna start by creating a hill with my green. Hold on, let me turn my lighting down because I cannot see with the glare. I'm just creating a big hill. This is just going to be a lot of brushes, a lot of like building on those layers. Did I say brushes? I meant bushes. I don't know what I'm saying. We're just building that layer. And we're gonna follow this up into, you can definitely see the colors now that I turn the light down a little bit more. Now with the tree, I'm gonna create some little indents, right? So maybe start here and work your way down. Create like a little T-bone shape. And I'm going to guide the shape of my tree by putting in little divots, little, you know, texture into the tree. You don't want to completely cover the black. That's not what we're trying to do. This is just the first layer of the highlight to the tree, okay? And we're only doing it on the right side because what does Diana always say? Look at where your light's coming from. Where is the light hitting your trees? Is it hitting it on this side? No, it's hitting it on this side. Your light is hitting your tree on the right side. That's where your sunshine's coming in. It's peeping in. It's like, hello, I'm here. And we're gonna just continue to do that on these trees. I don't know why I wiped my brush off. But add as many, and we're still working with just the regular dark green, like the darkest green that you got. You don't want to mix it with some black because you already got black in the back. You're not trying to do that. These vines are gonna be coming up here. I say vines, but it's moss. You can T-bone it again, or wishbone it. Is that what the correct term? The little Thanksgiving turkey thing? Keep it going, keep it going. Keep filling in your color. Maybe you want a little thin one here in the middle. And then let's come over here. Oh, probably just got, it's okay, this is my painting sweater. Yes, I know, I'm a terrible person. Wanda's AC is out and I'm over here freezing in a sweater. What is life? Poor Wanda, man. And then she lives in Texas, the devil's butthole over there. It's like hot. It is hot, hot, hot. Please don't ever take me back to Texas to live. I'll visit, but I don't think that I could ever live in Texas again. It's too hot. All right, this big mama, we got a lot of room for tons of different twisties, different moss. Make it this way, make it that way. Man, you know what I really got, like, I don't know if it's the right word, but like, do y'all ever get like a craving to like paint something? I got like a really bad craving right now to paint like some like psychedelic, like UFO type stuff. I don't know why this reminded me of aliens. Just creating little lines with our brush, just tapping in ferociously. And the beautiful thing about doing landscapes is that nobody cares about the details. Like, Who cares if you didn't pat your brush the right way? Who cares if you didn't put enough moss on your tree? Like, it's a landscape. Nature is so different. And that's why I think that anybody that's like trying to learn how to paint should start with landscapes, because they are confidence boosters. All right, so who's here? Tina, you could totally, oh, excuse me. You could totally do it, girl. Hey, Deborah. I don't know if you're still here. Connie's still working on the rainy day mouse. It's a long one. It's a long one. Hey, Jessica. I'm gonna put my hair down. Oh, feels so good. Wishbone. Yeah, that was the word. My mom voice. Oh my God. You should hear my daughter, man. She has the same bossy tone of voice now. She's starting to pick up what I do and say, and I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? A gravy. Oh, can you guys, I didn't realize that you guys could totally see my sweater. Hello. I don't know if you can. It's my Harry Potter sweater. Super cool. Can you guys see it? No. There we go. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. Okay. So from here, we're using green. Now we're gonna repeat the same thing we just did with just a lot more yellow in it. So we're gonna add a little bit of yellow to that green, and we're just gonna be building those layers of green. You know, add a little bit of light yellow. You want it to be sort of like a moss green, but with just a tiny little hint. I am gonna add a little bit of raw sienna. You want a little bit of that brown undertone to come through. So from here, right, we laid down our green. You can still kind of see it apart from the, well, when I tilt my rock this way, you can still sort of see it, right? I'm gonna go above, just slightly above. I'm not going all the way to the top because that's gonna be like a yellow lime green where the sun is hitting it, okay? I'm just gonna add little tappiness to it to give it a little bit of different color. And I'm using the scrubby fret brush that we made because you want that texture, you want those missing holes, you don't want a big splot. Why don't we want a big splot? Because you're trying to create the texture underneath so that the dark hues are showing, and you're trying to create the depth in your painting. So I'm just following all the little lines that I just did, and it's just layering and layering and layering of paint, okay? That's all it is. That's how you build your depth. Tap your little hearts away. I don't want to do too much here because remember that this one is like, this edge is, it's facing out, but this like rounded part of the tree, it's not. So I don't want to put too much here in the center because I would be false in doing that. I would be like a phony, because where's the light on that section of the tree? It's not there. It's a good tip also for trying to get the excess paint off. When you go back in to refill your brush with paint, make sure that you are not, see how I just blobbed it on there? That's not what you want. You don't want big blobs. Tap off the excess, pick it up with your finger, go back in and get scraggly with it. Build on those colors. I'm gonna look at my little made up thing here. And be like, man, we should have chosen the sunset because this one was whack. I always say that when it's in the ugly stages of the painting, but we'll see. We'll see. There's still plenty of time to do other tutorials. This one was just last minute, and I was like, oh my god. I messaged Wanda, and I was like, you didn't tell me that you're ace. Like, you could have tapped me in, coach. And she was just like, okay. And then Katie, Miss Katie, you know, we all need some time to paint what we want to paint and do what we want to do. So I was like, girl, if you need a night off to do what you want to do, you do that. So here I am. Here I am painting a messy little mossy forest. And that's okay if you're going over your branches, because we're gonna swoop everything down so that it's like mossy, fairy vibes. Oh, I completely forgot to do this little section. That's okay. I don't want too much here because remember, this portion is in the dark. Just a couple of highlights here. Even just using the watered down paint will make a difference. Just to give it some texture. So this is where we're at so far. You can see. Let me try to tilt it away. There you go. See those colors starting to build. Let's go in with, I'm gonna add some more yellow to this and just gonna keep lining it up. If you wanna use your neon colors, now is the time to do so. If you have them, pull them out. Tap off the excess. I don't like to tap it off. You're probably wondering, like, why don't you just tap it off in the palette instead of wasting the paint on here? The reason why I don't do that is because I don't want to stab it and then stab a hole in my wax paper. So I do it on the rag because no harm, no foul. And then let's start going in and really just creating like a finer line here on top of all of the work that we've done. And I am just tapping in a fine line. Why? Because it's just the highlight of the sun coming through. My thing on my computer just completely stopped. Had to make sure I didn't get cut off. Layers and layers of color. You can add a couple of little random spots throughout if you're missing any. To make sure I wasn't getting another phone call like I did last time. Bruno, why are you this way? Jesus! Oh my God, my throat is in my stomach right now. This dog. Oh, Bruno. I about jumped out my damn seat. Whew, raise your hand if you were startled by Bruno. Sorry about that. And I am gonna be rotating my brush here and there. Oh, trust me, Bruno is a very spoiled dog. I might complain about him, but in all seriousness, he is very well treated here and very loved. Very pampered. You know, as Katie, I constantly send her videos where he's just like on the couch, just lounging out, sunbathing. All right, and then after this, we're gonna do one more layer, okay? And no, I'm not kidding. We really are. We're gonna do one more layer. I don't know why I'm standing here. Hold on, I was like, why is my hand hurting so bad? I'm just holding the rock up. Okay, so from here, we're going to grab some yellow. Golden yellow. I mixed both of the yellows up and some white. Maybe I'm gonna throw in a little pinch of the neon. Probably like, Diana, I'm tired of neons. Well, I am not. I am in fact not tired of neons. But that's okay, because you know what? The best part about it is that these tutorials are not mandatory. Absolutely nobody will ever force you to watch them. So if you don't want to, then that's totally okay too. So let's just very, very lightly outline back here. Oh, Tina, I'm sorry. If honestly, like sometimes it is kind of nice to just go at my own pace. I know I still have to like explain and stuff, but if I had to stop and wait all the time, it will drag out to like a 2+ hour tutorial. And I know a lot of people don't, you know, want to sit through that or want to wait for that. And then it takes a lot longer for me to also go in and record, like, let's say if I was doing this on my own, like to post up as like a fast forwarded version, then I would have to go in, film it. It would probably take about maybe like an hour and a half. And then I'd have to take like an extra hour to edit it and stuff. And sometimes your girl just does not want to do that. So these are helpful because I can just, you know, have kind of like a little freelance day where we just listen or try to keep up. Don't get discouraged either. Please don't get discouraged, because remember, we're all on different journeys in our art. What speed works for me might not work for you. You know, like some people don't like going fast or can't go fast, and that's understandable. For me, sometimes going slow just really brings me down, and then that's when I start to get cranky because I have to like wait and stuff. And I just want to like get it done, you know, like I just want to paint the rock and do my thing, teach you how to do it, and then bounce, and then go relax, go watch a little movie or something. So this is where we're at so far. And I'm gonna grab this brush that I was using earlier just because it's, ooh, see, I would have gone straight in with black because I'm terrible at washing my brushes. You can ask Heather. I'm just gonna grab it because it's easy for me to apply paint. So let's grab some of this green, this really pretty green that we had, that we mixed up. And let's just lay down some color. Oh, you can't even see that. Let's add some more white. Some yellow to it. Lighten it up. I'm just gonna create quick little strokes. It's almost like I'm just bringing the paint in and around, and then I'm just gonna drag it to the back, like that. And that's just to give a little bit of movement, a little bit of shape to the grass that's down here. And then I might go in with some of the raw sienna. Oh, I'm gonna wet my brush just a little bit to make it a little bit more fluid, a little bit smoother. And this brown is gonna contrast really nicely with the blue and the green. Kind of just give it a little bit of a pop of color to complement the yellow tones that we have in the trees. And also to give it like a little bit of a ground feel, like it's actual ground. Might add in some flowers down here at the bottom. Honestly, I had an inspiration photo, but I try not to stick to it too much. You know, you got to just kind of sometimes make stuff your own. I've learned that I prefer to do that sometimes. I grabbed some of this light green, by the way. I forgot to say that. And I'm just going to create some bushes down here. And maybe drag that yellow down a little bit. Okay. So from here, oh God, I totally forgot about this little boulder. Okay, really quick. I'm just gonna cover it with green the same way that I did the rest of the stuff, and then start building on those greens. You can wait for yours to dry, or if you're like, whatever, Diana, you can always just go in the way that I'm going. Just lighten it up. Forgot about the little boulder. Okay, from here, we're gonna add in the treetops, and guess what? You're gonna just be tapping down again. I'm telling y'all, the landscapes are so easy to do sometimes because it's just a lot of the same motion, and it gives you a ton of practice in doing textured stuff like that. So we're gonna go in with some of the green black mixture over here. I don't know why I mixed it in two separate spaces, but whatever, this is where we are now. Tap off the excess because I don't want to blob it on. I also want it to be a little bit light, so I don't want to go in like full heavy metal with it. I just want a darker color to lay down. I'm just going to give my tree a little tree top. It's okay if it's not like a complete tree coverage, because we are still going to have moss hanging down from here. So place that color down. Bring it in. I can hear my neighbor right now. She's got music bumping in there. She loves to do karaoke, and I can hear her a lot of the times. And she just goes at it, man. She's so good at it too. One time my friend Daphne was over, and we were like just sitting out in our back lawn chair. I say ours, but my chairs, and we were just sitting out there, and we were just like listening to a free concert because the neighbor was just blasting her music, singing karaoke. We were like rooting for her. I'm like, girl, get it. You get that karaoke time. And then I told her about it the next day, and I was like, oh, because her name's Joanne. I was like, oh, Miss Joanne, like, I was listening to you yesterday. You're so good. And she was like, all embarrassed. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe you can hear me. And I was like, well, our walls are connected. But she was actually really good. I'm like envious a little bit. She can sing so good. Her favorite song to sing is Girls Just Want to Have Fun, in case anybody cares. All right. So same technique, exact same layering of color. The light green with the yellow. Honestly, Katie, we're gonna have to talk, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say the stuff, you know. But yeah, we should definitely eventually do some karaoke. Maybe that'll be our next Colorful Conversations with Heather. We haven't done an episode of that in a really long time, but it's just hard sometimes because she's so busy, and then I'm so busy. Well, I'm not like busy, but like I don't have anybody to watch the kids, because my husband's always working. So I'm like, hello. All right, I'm gonna actually add a little bit of branches to my tree, and the way that I'm gonna do it is very slightly in between the cracks. I'm gonna start to pan out some branches, and I do want them to be slight. I don't want them to look like they're over the greenery. I want them to kind of slip a little bit behind. So I'm just gonna sort of do a couple of them that are kind of dodgy, I guess would be the word, like not connected, you know, like they're just peeping out from the tree. I think that's the really great thing though about replays too, is you can fast forward it, you can rewind it, you can do whatever you want with it. Oh. Okay, hold on. The switching leg. I got the cutest new shorts today. They're like rainbow neon print. Super excited about them. Bye, Crystal. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, you never know when our next Colorful Conversations is going to be or who's going to be there. So stay tuned. Okay, so from here, I'm going to do the same effect. Now that this green has kind of dried up, I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow green mixture that I got to brighten it up. Doing the same effect of kind of just leaving a little bit of color here on the edge. I might line it up. Don't start, Bruno. I feel like every time I talk about my dogs, somehow somebody always says something like I'm mean to my dogs or something. Like I showed, you know, I did a video and then Bruno's like, a kennel was in the back and somebody was like, oh my God, you kennel your dogs. And I was like, well, I mean, the door is like always open. It's just there for their comfort, you know. But I know I complain about Bruno, guys, but he's in a very loving home, I promise. He gets all the belly rubs. Yes, he drives me nuts with his barking, but he's a very loved dog. Our little rescue. I'm just creating some painterly strokes. Let the light hit it. Okay, so from here, we're going to grab some, what color should we do? Let's just go in with straight white, because we're gonna shimmer it up anyway. Actually, some baby blue. Let's do, I'm lying. Let's do some of this aqua with some white. I've got my scraggly brush, tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna do some lines coming straight down. It's kind of like a raking effect, so if you've got a rake brush, go ahead and use that. And I'm just going straight down with it, okay? And this is the aqua color with a little bit of white. You want a little bit of a background. And then I'm going to go in with my white, tap off the excess, and I am gonna create my waterfall line. It is a little bit wet. I'm gonna scrape off the excess, and then I'm gonna just drag that color down while it's wet. I'm a liar, it's drying a lot faster than I thought. And I'm not completely doing like a side thing. I'm still using the top of my brush to create texture because it's water, so you want to make it nice and flowy. It's like a curtain, you know? When you're at the waterfall, you see like chunks of the water. You don't see like just a straight white thing. You see some hints of the rocks behind it. You see a couple of rocks making blockages. And then I'm just gonna do a quick like zigzag motion with my brush so that we can get some different texture in that water. And this brush is just absolutely fantastic for doing stuff like this. All right, I'm on my edge. So this is what we got so far in our water. And then from here, I'm going to grab some of this aqua teal color. Maybe the one that I mixed with some white over here. Maybe I'm gonna put a little bit of turquoise just to give it a little bit more blue. I'm gonna kiss the water with my brush, and I'm just gonna glaze it. And what I mean by glaze is I'm just gonna use a quick, swift motion with my brush. I'm using just the tip of the brush. To bring that color out. I'm just gonna go back and forth, and this is why I say it's important to just kiss the water with your brush so that it's not globbed on. It's not gonna just create a big pool mess. You're just using the water that's on the brush to create some movement. Do a little zigzag. Your zigzag doesn't have to be exact. You can intertwine, you can connect back up. It is water after all, so make sure that you give it some movement. Now that I did that with the lighter color, I'm gonna go in with some straight aqua, kiss the water, and bring deeper colors into this corner over here. Just here on the side. Make it a little bit more vibrant. Show the aqua coming through. Did y'all do the did y'all take advantage of Wanda's 4th of July sale? I did. I placed an order. I couldn't help myself. I think I got mother of pearl whip because I actually ended up sending the one that I had gotten to a friend so that she could try it out. And then I think I got the key lime because I didn't have that one. And I know I got like 5 whips, I think. All right, from here, I'm gonna grab the blue again because now we've laid down a lighter color, okay? We're gonna water down that blue. If you need to do it on your palette, go ahead and do so. Want it very washed out. Tap the excess and then bring that blue in. Like you're shading the water, okay? Bring it in. Just quick. It's almost like I'm scooping it up. It's just a little wash to give it some color. And so that you don't have those harsh water edges over here. You're, you know, connecting it all together. Just layer that water in. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom really quick because I have to pee really bad, so I'll be right back in just a second. Bruno, get away from the camera. You cannot be on live. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna grab some white, just straight white. And this one is pretty fluid, so I don't have to kiss the water, but I'm gonna just a little bit, tap off the excess. And then look at where your light is coming in. So follow your light directly. If you need to invisibly guide yourself, start to draw a little bit of a shimmer. You don't want to do straight lines. Just give yourself little glimmers here and there. It's just glittering the reflection. If using a fine liner works better for you in this area, go ahead and do that. Honestly, sometimes I just get comfortable with the brushes that I'm using, and they can be good for multiple uses. Like this one is good for applying color, it's good for blending. It's still pretty enough that I feel confident using it as a fine liner sometimes. Just layer that water in. The closer that you get to yourself, the bigger that you want to make your chunks and your glistens. Maybe some little dots here and there. We're almost there, guys. Okay, so I'm guessing that everybody's kind of like tapped out then, right? All right, I think everybody's tapped out. That's okay. It's okay. That just means Diana's gonna kind of, you know. I'm gonna grab my burnishing brush. I'm pretty sure I have a smaller one than this. Hold on. I might not though, and I don't really want to sit around looking for it either. Okay, I have a tiny one right here. Okay, I'm gonna grab some white with the burnishing brush. Remember that these pick up a ton of paint. I don't know how, but they just do. And I'm gonna mix some of that. I'm just gonna grab this color that we mixed. Ignore me, I'm a liar. All right, top off the excess and let's start to create some foam from up at the top. Not foam, what would you call this? Like, mist? And I'm just very lightly from the top creating a mist. And I mean very lightly. Just brushing it in. And the trick with these types of blending outs is that you gotta kind of layer it, really. Maybe I want to extend it out right here. It's gonna be a misty forest type of painting. The mist is just coming and it's so pretty, and there's little magical deer and stuff that are gonna come and drink the water and bathe in the waterfall, and it's gonna be beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna switch to just white, and I'm just gonna highlight here and there. Just give it a little bit of a poof. From here, I'm going to grab a, I think I'm gonna use, I have a very specific brush, and of course, when I need a brush, I'm not gonna be able to find it. I am looking for, I'm gonna tell you guys like as if you're here to look for me. I am looking for my fan brush, the tiny one that came in one set. I have a fan brush, but this one sucks. Let me see. I have this fine liner that turned into a fred brush. But I know exactly what brush I need. And of course, hold on, let me get my second rack over here. Oh, here it is. Ta-da! Okay. Oh, this is like my favorite little fan brush. It's so tiny, it's so perfect and cute. Okay, now let's grab our sleeves up, roll your sleeves up. We're gonna do that black and green mixture again. And this time what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to dip some green and dip some black and green mixture, kind of combine the colors, tap off the excess. Here we go. And then we're gonna create some moss, just straight down. And if you wanna just use the edge of your brush too, I might just switch to using just that. Let me see. Okay, you actually don't need a fan brush, but if you want to use a fine liner brush to do this, you can do that too. Don't listen to Diana. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's a liar. We're just gonna create little hanging moss. And the moss is gonna be hanging up here too. And then just doing quick little motions. Honestly, this brush is like perfect for doing it because it reduces me having to sit there. It's kind of just like a quick little, kind of like you're coloring. That's the motion. You're coloring it in. like that. I had a little itch on my finger. Okay. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight them with neon yellow and neon green. Maybe just a little dash of white to brighten it up the most that I can. And I'm gonna try to go a little bit underneath it just to give it a glow. The neon green glow to differentiate it from the background so that you see that the moss is here, the sun is shining through it. See, you can't even see the moss that I painted down here. That's okay. It's just like a jungle vibes type of piece. Quick little fanning. I'm just putting invisible moss up there because my branch doesn't even extend up there. There we go. Okay, and then once you're here, oh, I might let's just put a little bit down here too. Once you're here, let's start putting in a couple of flowers. Choose your flower color. I might just do some, I might do like I've been really into like periwinkle type colors. I don't know why. I'm putting down some neon blue and some neon purple. Oh, let me see what it looks like up here. Okay, it's not so bad. Told y'all it was very like simplistic color palette, okay? So let's mix up some purple, some blue, and some white. Maybe a little bit of baby blue. Tone down that purple. And again, yours does not have to be like mine. I'm just gonna add some flowers. These look like little forget-me-nots. I'm just gonna tap it in from the top. And then I haven't rinsed my brush. I'm just gonna dip it into some white. I'm almost out of white. And do the same thing. I'm gonna tap a little bit over them. Oh, too much. Some in between. So that they look like little forget-me-nots. I'm gonna add in some regular purple and pink. Actually, this is magenta. I'm almost out. It's okay, I got a brand new set. Add some, oh. I just want to like be at the end of this little creek, river, waterfall and just like eat some good food, talk with some friends, dip my toes in the water. I feel like I've found my true joy in painting places or things. Like I want to be in my paintings sometimes, and I really want to be in this painting right now. Oh. Just give it a little pop of color. And then what I'm gonna also do is I'm just gonna add a little bit of like a shine. Almost like the water's like reflecting off of it. Glistening. Maybe these are the magical fairies that I was talking about. Just a couple little rays of sunshine here. Little stars. I love forget-me-nots. They make me really sad though. Like really sad. They remind me of the movie Thumbelina, and that movie is so like near and dear to my heart because my mom actually my mom calls me her Thumbelina because she says, you know, she was like the little old lady that like prayed and prayed for a baby, and then here I was. And then I had a friend who I was, you know, we were close friends, and then she ended up passing away when we were, God, it's been so long, when we were 20. She passed from cancer, and we would, I would take the Thumbelina DVD to go visit her in the hospital, and that's what we would watch. And you know, she made me our own little forget-me-nots, and it was like this little ring made out of a $1 bill, and she was like, "This is your forget-me-not for me." And then, you know, that dollar meant a lot to me. I actually ended up putting it in her casket when it was time for her to go. Ew, why did I get so morbid? That made me think of Tony. Her name was Tony. So from here, I think what I'm gonna also do, oh, you know what? Some flowers over here would be really good. Let's do some florals. Do y'all have any plans for, God, it's already tomorrow, huh? Any plans for the 4th of July? My husband is off. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. Our friend Daphne, actually, she like texted me, and she was like, what are we gonna do? So there's our plans. We're currently planning to have a little get together, a little cookout. What else was I gonna add to this? I don't think I'm gonna add anything else. I think I'm just gonna shimmer it up. And then obviously you paint the edges black while I'm waiting for that. Oh, you should, Anita. It's such a beautiful, beautiful movie. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I'm really like, I don't know, the 90s just had really good movies, man. Have y'all ever watched this movie called A Troll in Central Park? Tell me now, or forever hold your peace. Man, that was a good movie, and it's one of like my favorites to watch with the kids. With, hold on, I have my paintbrush. I have my paintbrush in my mouth. With Ganorga and Stanley the Troll. Did you guys ever watch that? A Troll in Central Park. It's actually got like a really beautiful song that makes me want to cry, like at the end. Because he's like, picture a perfect world. And then he's like talking about how like the world is, you know, different, and just about being kind to it and taking care of Mother Earth. And it's just like this super kumbaya movie. It's really good. It's a cute little cartoon. And like all those classics like Thumbelina, Troll in Central Park, Once Upon a Forest. I don't know if y'all ever watched that. That one was so good. The We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, that was so good. What else? All right, I'm gonna start pulling out my shimmer so that y'all can see. Ooh, it's barely 9 o'clock. The Iron Giant, that's another good one. Let's see. Obviously, Pacific Blue, y'all already know it's one of my favorites. Let's do some, oh my God, my hair clip is like yanking at my hair because it's like super, hold on. I'm looking for my Gibby Twinkle. Okay, Gibby Twinkle. What else? What else? What other colors do we have? I might actually use a whip. Bear with me. I might use Princess or Kai for the prettiness here. Okay. Switch the leg. Oh my God. The Labyrinth is my jam. Okay, that movie is a classic. I mean, it is just, God, it is so good. I love that movie, in case you can't tell. All right, so let's activate this one. Yes. Thomasina. I have not watched that. The Neverending Story was a good one, but that one used to scare me when I was little. I'm not gonna lie. It gave me, I think that's where my anxiety started, like thinking about death and the world ending and stuff like that. Yeah, that movie was like, I was always scared of the scene with the two golden people that like, you know, I haven't let my kids watch that movie. It's a little bit too much for me. The two little statues that like shoot you with like beams out of their eyes. That part scared me. Obviously, the big scary wolf scared me. When the horse died, like, oh my God, that movie was so traumatizing as a kid. Like, I look back on it now and I'm like, what was I watching? Jesus. The Dark Crystal was another one. That one was super scary with all the, what did they call it? The Sketskis, I think. Yeah. Oh, good night, Joan. Thank you for sticking around. You know that the rest of it is just shimmer. Oh, yeah. Just applying some shimmer. I might need to watch that. The Secret of Nim. You know I've watched it. I just don't remember it. And that sounds so bad, but I do not remember like the full extent of the movie. The Black Cauldron. There was one with like penguins too. All Dogs Go to Heaven. All the classics, man. They used to make such good movies. I need to clean my little poker because it's all thick from all the paint that I've been unclogging. All right, so let's go in with like, you know, a brush. I'm just gonna create a couple, hold on. This is the wrong brush for this. Man, y'all got me feeling all like nostalgic. I got the cutest little swimsuit that's like totally Lisa Frank vibes. I'm super excited for it. It's literally like rainbow, neon, and cheetah. Oh wow, you just saw The Labyrinth, Deborah? Indian in the Cupboard, Anita, that was a good one. Mrs. Frisbee. One of my favorite books when I was younger was Piggy Pie. I still love reading that book to my kids. Like, it's one of my favorite bedtime stories to read to them. Piggy Pie. Grinch the Witch was feeling very hungry. Truly, I feel like my paintings just are never complete. Like, even I tried to do some like matte looking stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that. But then I always go back to adding shimmer. Like, I can't just not. That's just my style, and that's okay if it's not your style, but I mean, how can you not look at it? It just like, it really makes the difference. I notice that my art, like, you know, it just really makes a difference. All right, so I'm gonna use a little bit of the, which one? The Pacific Blue. You know what? I actually don't even think that I've seen Willow. My husband put Twister on today, and I was like, what are you thinking? The kids are still eating dinner, like they haven't finished. He immediately knew that I was right and changed it. It's because my older son, Carter, he is like, he's very much the little boy, well, because he, you know, he has autism, so he needs to know exactly how things work. He needs to know exactly how everything works. Like, every single, like, he loves watching, like, National Geographic. He loves to know what animals eat, like, specifically, what do they eat? Like, that's his obsession is. What do they eat? Where do they live? How do they breathe underwater? That type of stuff. He needs to know how everything works. And so I was like, oh my God, if we ever put that movie on for Carter, he would freak out knowing that, you know, twisters are, for one, real. I got asked the other day if honey badgers are real. So I'm using abalone. Abalone. However you want to say it. God, this color is gorgeous. And add some water, like spritzing off the top here. And I may just top it off with some, let's see. Do I have champagne gold in my reach? Yes, I do. Where's my little dropper? Okay, I'm gonna use some of this, what is this, Kai? And I'm gonna use a dotting tool. I know it's tedious, I don't care. I like the individual placement sometimes for little flowers like this. I mean, I guess I could like kind of tap it in, but it's just therapeutic to like put the little dots down. It's very relaxing. What should I name this tutorial? This is gonna be like Mossy Waterfall. The one where we were nostalgic. Nostalgic waterfall. Something cheesy like that. Hey Shonda, yeah, all my tutorials are getting posted. They're up, they get downloaded and posted up to my YouTube. You know which movie like traumatized me? Like sincerely traumatized me? I watched it once and then I never watched it again. And I was a child when I watched this, okay? I wouldn't say a child. Well, maybe I was like, I'm pretty sure I was like around 10 or 11. And I never could watch it again. It like to this day makes me sick to my stomach. Oh my God. And then I can't even remember the name. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Okay, it's a movie about these kids that get stranded on an island. Let me know if you guys know which one I'm talking about. Oh my god, I just had the name and it completely like slipped my mind. And then there's like this character named Piggy, and it's this little boy that's like chunky with like glasses, and he ends up getting like stoned to death. Like they drop a big boulder on him. Do you guys? No, it's not Treasure Island. God, what is it called? Somebody please come through. It was a really oldies type of movie. It was like in the 80s, and it's like boys that are like Boy Scouts, and they're, oh my god, what is the name of the movie? Yes, God, Kathy. Lord of the Flies. There you go. Yes, that completely traumatized me as a child. No, Deborah, The Goonies is actually one of my favorite movies too. I love that movie. I was born in the 90s, but I grew up as an 80s. Like, I used to listen to like Depeche Mode, The Cure, like just a whole bunch of like new wave, like dance music, because my mom, that's all she would listen to. Cyndi Lauper, all of the 80s music, all the 80s movies, all the Molly Ringwalds. So here we go. Project X. I don't think I've seen that one. Okay, Deborah, don't ever watch Lord of the Flies, please. For the love of God, it is traumatizing. So that's it, guys. That's the tutorial. Thanks for sitting in. I know it was last minute. A little impromptu live. I hope that you guys have a good holiday weekend and be expecting some more little pop-up tutorials as much as I can, because they're fun. I'll be a little bit more prepared the next time, but for now, you know, you can even go further and add some like green. I actually just had a really pretty green that I just put away. Oh, this is from the Hypershift Chameleons. You can definitely make it your own. You know, add all the shimmers that you want, all the greens. Ain't nobody stopping you from glitterifying your work. Make it pop off that rock. And it'll give you good practice for texture. So here it is. It's not nothing too special, but it's something, right? Anyway, thank you guys. I hope you guys have a good night, and we'll talk soon.